Debbie Mack here, and as part of 52 Films by Women, I'm reviewing Dorothy Arzner's The Bride Wore Red. This is an interesting movie from the late 1930s, 1937 to be specific. Joan Crawford stars as basically, I guess, a barmaid who is picked out of the crowd by this rich man. It's one of those 1930s movies where, you know, the downtrodden, it's one of the fantasy kind of movies where a downtrodden person gets to enjoy the good life for a while. In any event, she's picked out of the crowd by this elderly man who is rich and has this kind of attitude like, what makes the rich so much better? What makes the poor what they are? What makes, you know, what circumstances led to you being you, the barmaid or dancer, singer? I think she was a singer, actually. So in any event, she's living a poverty-stricken life as a singer or whatever she is. And he picks her out and says, I'm just going to make you Countess somebody for a week and see how you like it and if it affects you, or words to that effect. It's supposed to be a big joke. Anyway, so it's only supposed to last a week or two also. I think it was 2 weeks, now that I think about it. But she goes off to this ritzy place and ends up crossing paths with this guy who is also friends with the guy who does this to her. Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold. And Joan is placed in the position of having to choose between going after the rich guy, who has a fiance, of course, and this peasant who lives in the area, who is obviously much more compatible with her in a romantic sense, at heart. And, well, it ends kind of the way you might expect it would. And I'm not going to go into how, because watching the movie is the fun part of discovering these things. But it is one of those 1930s movies where a poor person gets a glimpse of the rich life, which was kind of the fantasy stuff that people liked during the Depression. And that's all I'll say about it. I think it's well worth a look. And Dorothy Arzner was one of the trailblazing women directors of her time. She was the only woman director of the 1930s, actually, who was officially recognized as a film director. And I remember that from a class I took on women in media a long time ago, that name. I thought, boy, that sounds familiar. And sure enough, that's who she is. Anyway, it's well worth watching. Dorothy Arzner's The Bride Wore Red.
I'll go my way without it. I know too much about it. Who wants love? Do you really like me that much?
Now, don't misunderstand me, please. You and I live in quite different worlds. But I'm in the mood to meddle with fate tonight. Supposing I were to send you for 2 weeks to mingle with the men and women of my world.
You think everything I said and did that day was for a purpose?
It must have been. I know what was in the telegram.
But I love you now.
Be as cheap as you like, but not about that anymore. It's not our love now, nor yours. It's only mine.
I want you to marry her, and I want my love to haunt you. To make you lie awake at night. To burn your heart. To make you sick with pain. I want you to think of me and to ache for me. I want never to see you again. Here comes the bride, all dressed in red. The bride wore red.